The summer is decidedly stifling, Holmes. Why don't you take a holiday in the country, Watson? An excellent idea, Holmes. Will you accompany me? I think I shall answer this note from Scotland Yard instead. Scotland Yard? Do you recall that we received a plea for help yesterday? Yes, to resolve the mysterious murder of a poor, miserable painter. No suspects, no leads, but you said that you don't have time for this type of business. Remarkable? An expensive Persian carpet that had been stolen. And? It changes everything, Watson. Will you accompany me? My dear Watson, let's acquaint ourselves with this affair. We can go to the scenes of the investigation and pass by Scotland Yard as well. Welcome to a new investigation. You are portraying the famous detective Sherlock Holmes. You will need to explore scenes in order to find clues and reveal suspects. The crime report is available at Scotland Yard. The police will make available the interrogations of suspects and the statements of witnesses. Make use of them. Of course, you also have use of your lodgings at 221B Baker Street to analyze certain clues and draw your conclusions. Good luck, Holmes. In each scene, you must collect the objects displayed at the bottom of the screen. Click with the mouse in order to collect it. When the cursor transforms into a magnifying glass, you have access to a magnified view. The cursor also turns into a gear and signifies that there is an action to do. Feel free to use one or many tools to act in such areas. You have help in the form of the hint button. When you click on it, one of the hidden objects is highlighted. To read this letter, I need to stick all pieces together. To start the puzzle, just drag the torn paper item above the puzzle icon. To return to the scene, clicking on the exit button at the top right. You are playing with the time limit as you are not officially authorized to investigate. You can pause the game by pressing the escape key on your keyboard or by clicking the clock with your mouse. The little gear icon indicates that a combination is to be completed in the scene itself. It also turns golden upon completion. In the bottom of the inventory, the puzzle piece indicates how many puzzles remain to be solved. It turns golden when all have been solved. Here is a crime report that we have been given. Read the text and select the words that connect to the items indicated below. Vincent Gordon, 20 years old, extracts from the report. The victim is known to the police force. This young artist recently arrived in London, was under suspicion for having participated in various robberies. He was released due to lack of proof. He moved out of the Benson boarding house where he had been lodging for a year. Address unknown at this time. Contents of pockets, a few pence, a handkerchief stained with multicolored paint. The victim was killed with a white weapon. The blows were struck to the back. Victim was rolled up in a carpet, which happens to be one of the items stolen in the Great Sparrow residence robbery. Given the quantity of blood spilled on the carpet, the victim was undoubtedly killed on this carpet or rolled up in it immediately after the murder. It would appear that the victim was not killed in the location where the body was discovered, but most likely transported in the carpet and abandoned at the second location. The witness gave a statement. Go to Scotland Yard to read it. Confirm the witness's words by clicking on the green button. Mr. Flatham, 35 years old, night watchman at the cement works. I always start my rounds at 6 o'clock in the evening. I had already checked that room twice. I always take good care because that room had been home to vagabonds at one point. So my dog smelled the intruder as soon as he got near the place. I was starting on my third round when my Toby started to growl. So I ran towards the room and saw this carpet. I thought to myself, this is my lucky day. I unrolled the carpet. By by love, there was... I have no idea. Is this Gave? Anyways, there was blood. Blood, not even thick yet. I didn't even faint, I should tell you, and I did what I had to do. I ran to find a policeman. At the station, it was around midnight, I think. Select all objects displayed at the bottom. If there is an associated action, cursor turns into gear. This paper was ripped. Reconstruct the message by placing the pieces in the proper place. Take a piece by clicking it with the left button. Right-clicking rotates the piece. Mr. Gordon, thank you for your help. I have deducted it from your rent. Thus, you still have £7, 50 pence to settle. This is Pitticot. We now know where this unfortunate painter was living. Use the hint button to highlight hidden objects. Congratulations, Holmes. Your incredible talents of analysis have once again made sense of all of the clues. But for my part, I am no further ahead. The business seems simple, Watson, but I already sense something out of the ordinary in it. Shall we see what Mrs. Pitticot's testimony will tell us? Mrs. Pitticot, 60 years old, landlady. What tragedy. Such a handsome young man. I rented him a small room. Wait, here's the key. He had many financial worries, so we had an arrangement. He took care of my garden, for example. We have found a new location to examine. Access it through the map. When the cursor appears as a magnifying glass, click to zoom in on an area. Select all objects displayed at the bottom. Use the hint button to highlight hidden objects. Click on the button in the top right corner to return to the scene. This painting was painted with watercolors. Curious. Find the hidden painting by using the moistened paintbrush to soften the paint and the sponge to lift off the superficial layer. Oops, I clicked too fast. A woman's portrait is no longer in doubt a love story. There's a hidden message on this page. Decode the message by using the decoder to locate the words. Drag the decoder until you read a text. Then click to hold it, and then click each letter to enter the message. I will kill you, Vincent. Mary Summer. There is a curious letter which seems to accuse its author. Mary Summer is the woman who posed for the painter. We have our first serious suspect. See what the suspects are hiding. You must use the magnifying glass to find the clues connected to the suspects. Simply click the magnifying glass and click when you think you found. 25 years old, actress at the Ashton Theater. I've been involved with Vincent for a few months, but I was the one who supported him. He was worse than a child. He always came into my box or backstage. Yes, I threatened him because he sold a jewel that I had given him as a token of my love. But killing him wouldn't have changed anything, isn't that right? Do you believe I could be capable of such an act? You flatter me. Alright. Use a microscope and the little vials to analyze the collected objects. In order to look at an item up close, just select it and place it under the microscope. To analyze the composition of an item, place the test tube on the Bunsen burner and place your item inside. Associate a solution eventually or light the flame. My deduction board, Watson. It permits me to link the suspects, the victim, the scenes, and the crime. But how does it work, Holmes? It's simplicity itself, Watson. Certain obvious connections are already known by a green line. They show the links between the victim and the crime, and between the victim and the suspects who all showed hostility towards the painter. The other connections are to be established by selecting an object and associating it to another. If the connection is valid, a green line will link them.